Like, if I call you my brother, you know what it is. And breaking the code, I could be calm, cool, collective. If we start wilding, I'm changing the mode.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the Harden Way. Got a new series for you that spawned out of controversy. That's what I'm gonna say. Welcome to Rank 'em. That's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna rank our all-time centers. This started from. I'm gonna take a picture of this comment now. It started from good old Uncle Ike after he appeared on Big Squad 3, commenting on my Dwight Howard video, and said Dwight Howard at best is 14th all time. And he said, I see why you keep me out of these conversations. So I figured, you know what? Put my money where my mouth is, bring him on the show, and let's debate. Because I think it's atrocious, but here we are. So, welcome to Rank 'em, everybody. We're gonna rank our top 10 centers. Who wants to go first? Because I'm curious.
I'll go first.
All right, Isaac.
Let's get it out the way.
You might as well, yes. So, Isaac, give us your top 10 centers all time.
So, 1, I got Kareem.
Okay.
2, Shaq. 3, Bill. 4, Wilt. 5, Hakeem. 6, David Robinson. 7, Moses Malone. 8, Nikola Jokic.
Okay.
9, Dwight Howard.
All right.
And 10, Pat Ewing.
Okay. I'm gonna go, and of course, great minds think alike. I'm kind of a little similar. I got Kareem at 1. I got Bill at 2 though over Shaq. I'm gonna be honest with you. Got Wilt at Shaq 3, Wilt 4, Hakeem 5. I got David Robinson 6, Moses Malone 7. I got Jokic 8. I didn't want to, but 3 MVPs. I'm like, you gotta put him 8. I have Dwight at 9, and then I got Pat Ewing at 10. So now, Unc, we kick it to you.
First of all, with you two both having such a deep history coming from Cambridge, Massachusetts, to put Patrick Ewing at 10, it's probably the most
literally said
thing that I think I've ever heard out of you two. And
first of all,
I'm definitely gonna go talk to your father after this.
Just said that.
I said, yo, before we hit record, I said to Isaac, yo, knowing that pop from Cambridge, he's gonna be hurt. He's gonna be hurt.
How dare you?
Yo, Dad's gonna be watching video talking about we are the mighty warriors, and we don't give a hoot about you. I love how only people from Massachusetts are gonna get this joke now. Only people from Cambridge are gonna understand that.
Well, it's just only reason why we get it because they sang it to us in Worcester when they came down here and pat you and smacked us around. So that's how we know. But okay, so now it's time for my list, and you're ready to hear the real battle. Okay,
all right, here we go.
Here's my list. Obviously, the Lakers will start the list. You know, you'll go Kareem, you'll go Wilt, you'll go Shaq. Bill coming in at 4, Olajuwon at 5, Moses at 6. I bring Patrick at 7. Thank you.
Okay.
I'll put David Robinson at number 8. I'll bring Jokic at number 9. And then I'm going to put George Mikan at 10. So I understand that you have some beef with this. How did I get? Well, let me tell you how I got Dwight to 14, though, first of all.
Yeah.
At 11, I had Alonzo Mourning.
Oh, no.
At 12, I had Artis Gilmore. At 13, I had Dave Cowens. And then 14, Dwight Howard. I'm listening. Bring it on.
I'm sorry. Alonzo Mourning is a tweak. Alonzo Mourning is an absolute tweak. Absolute tweak. Absolute tweak.
How is that an absolute tweak?
That man don't have no accolades to him. No defensive player of the year. Dwight got 3 of them. Man ain't got no MVPs.
The man was an anchor.
For who?
Got banged on.
Right, Vince Carter dunked him. Vince Carter did put him in.
Vince Carter, who didn't Vince get? Kobe got Dwight. Big deal. What's that mean?
Nah, I mean, it's Kobe.
Kobe got young Dwight.
And Dwight, and it was Vince. What was saying? Vince jumped over a whole human.
He did tag him in the Olympics.
That's fair.
No, but like, wait, because like, what? No disrespect, like, he's a Hall of Famer, yes, but what has Alonzo really done? I mean, hold on.
Alonzo anchored two playoff teams that were consistently in the playoffs. Of course, they ran into better teams. I mean, come on. That team with Muggsy Bogues and Larry Johnson, there's no way they should have been where they got to, beating the Celtics, beating the Knicks in playoff time. And then, of course, you go forward and you have them with the Heat when he actually did have a real shooter, but they ran into Michael. So what can you do? I mean, the world is the world.
Dwight got LeBron. I'm saying Dwight got LeBron. He went to the finals. He got the Celtics. I'm just saying. Come on.
Facts.
Now.
That's facts.
Alonzo Moore, look, Dave Cowens, he got MVP. I give you Dave Cowens. I was ready to give you McAdoo. He got an MVP at least. Gilmore, conversation. Well, Alonzo, though? No.
Mm. Okay, you take Alonzo from me. You still have Bill Walton. You still have Willis Reed. I mean, you still have guys who get in this argument that, I mean, like I said to you the other day, Dwight has given you 5 years of a real product. Outside of that 5 years, what has Dwight really given you?
Well, he had some All-Star appearances in Houston. Kobe damaged his mental. Let's call it like we see it. Kobe. Not everybody can play with Kobe. So the first LA stint was really rough. But hey, he gave some All-Star appearances in Houston. He still gave you 15 and 10 for the rest of his career on the way out. And then in LA, like you said, he's the only person I argue who's really giving Jokic a hard time. You say AD and you talk about the Mamba year, the White Stop.
I'm sorry, but we seen what AD was doing against Jokic, and Jokic won every single time.
Jokic has been cooking that man.
First of all, since 2020, Jokic has owned AD.
Yes.
The 2020 season, in that little bubble thing, Kobe passing away, there was nobody playing against AD that time. Nobody.
Fair.
He was playing like a man on a mission. And that's why we were where we were. I mean, come on. He was actually playing defense in that series. Since then, he hasn't played a lick of defense on Jokic. Put him in his back pocket and run him like he was like a tramp.
Jokic is hitting one-legged three-pointers on him, bro.
Put him in his back pocket.
I have no argument over that. That's why AD is clearly not on my list. I definitely give you credit and merit to the argument that Dwight Howard deserved to be on the All-75 team before AD. I definitely give you that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
That I'll agree with 100%. But, I mean, there are arguments for other players. You know what I mean?
Alonzo,
you needed a center at that time. Okay, so you're going to shoot Alonzo down. I'll take it.
I'm shooting Bill Walton down, too. Bill Walton, you talk about 5 years of product, Bill Walton gave you one MVP season, and his body failed him. And then he ended up popping up a couple years later on the end of the Celtics bench in 86. I'm sorry. I'm not giving you Bill either.
Well, you know what? You could take that, and I'll give you that because Bill was a fragile player. He was definitely injury prone, and those knees weren't good. But I tell you this, prime Bill Walton would work Dwight over.
No.
You out your mind.
No.
That was Mr. Glass before Tim Duncan. You better ask somebody. You don't know about that guy. Bill Walton was a problem when he was healthy.
You can hit me
that shot to the fifth row.
I'm sorry. Thank you.
Bill would have hit him with the. You got to remember, players back then had footwork. You know what I mean? Dwight wasn't playing with no footwork. Dwight was just out athleting people. You know what I mean? I get it. I was one of those guys. I could jump over people, so you did that. But in reality, Bill's gonna hit him with some up fakes, a little bit of his back move, that little fade away off the glass. Those things gonna be problems for Dwight.
No.
You know what I mean? And I'm saying, okay, so if you're looking at him as such a high-powered guy on this list, who's he really? You're taking out guys that have already done it. I mean, I don't understand. Okay, you take away Lonzo, I'll give you Lonzo. You beat me up on Alonzo, I'll take that beating. But I still say, if you put Dave Cowens in that spot, Dwight Howard doesn't get it.
Honestly, Cowens only has a valid thing because of the MVP. To me, Cowens
championship MVP.
Look, Cowens and McAdoo are in the same spot. They got the MVP, and they were the best player for a season of basketball. If Dwight had an MVP, I would be shooting down those arguments too with the same veracity, easy as that. The thing is,
if we had a split, we all
you know what?
That doesn't matter. If I'm just saying.
My point being, the only reason why they're in this conversation is because of that MVP. So honestly, that's why Cameron McAdoo ain't over Dwight Howard on my list either.
Okay. So no Willis Reed either.
I mean, that look, Willis Reed got 2 chips and 2 finals MVPs and beat up on the Lakers. So Willis does have a little bit of an honorable mention. He was an honorable mention on my list. I think I throw him at an 11, if anything.
So
I give
I
him
mean,
some.
and honestly, the biggest rah for Dwight in his career was when he ruined the Kobe LeBron championship. I mean, okay, give him his 3 defensive MVPs. He blocked a lot of shots. Manute had blocked a lot of shots.
No, don't do that. No, don't. No,
I'm just
don't.
That's
saying.
crazy.
Don't
Chuck
just
That's
make
Bradley,
Manute
Chuck
Bowl.
Bradley
in
blocked a
that.
lot of shots.
No.
Mark blocked a lot of shots. I'm just
Relax.
saying.
Relax. First of all,
I'm just saying.
Hold on.
I'm just saying.
let's all take a quick timeout. Players that have 3 or more defensive player of the years: Dwight, Ben Wallace, Gobert, Mutombo. First of all, Gobert should not be there. Let's get that out the way. Let's send Gobert because
Okay.
that was. I'm sorry, Gobert's a choice. At that point, like he's the most dominant big man of the 2010s.
Again, you have big men that were shot blockers, right? 3 defensive player of the year because they basically were an eclipse in the middle, unless of course someone showed up to blow up the eclipse. You know, like Jordan did the Dikembe, or Vince did the Morning, or Kobe did the Dwight, or those type of things. So it happens. So I mean, I get it, but you're telling me because he was the best shot blocker for 3 years in a row, he won defensive MVP. So that puts him on the list.
He's the most dominant big man of the 2010s. Let's not keep sliding by that.
We didn't play a big man in the 2010s. Big man was standing out at 3-point line shooting threes in the 2010s.
No, that didn't happen till the end of
2010s. They were shooting threes. Come on.
No, DeAndre Jordan was still here.
Dirk
Joakim Noah was still
DeAndre
here.
Jordan was not shooting threes.
DeAndre Jordan was not shooting threes. Joakim Noah was not shooting threes. Tyson Chandler was not shooting threes.
Joakim Noah wasn't shooting twos. It didn't matter. His job was the rebound. I mean, what are we saying?
Yeah.
What do you have? 6 points a game?
Yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't bucket.
I mean, he might have averaged 9 in Florida, but I don't think he ever averaged double figures in his career. So, I mean, I don't understand where we're going with that one.
My point being, not everybody was just chucking threes. He was the most dominant big man of the 2010s.
Everybody was shooting threes.
No, that's not till Curry came in.
The European influx brought in all those guys, everybody over 6'10", and what'd they do? What'd they do? I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
That's crazy. No, that's crazy work.
Started chucking.
No.
I mean, the game began to change because guys weren't playing Dwight in the block. Dwight had to step away from the block. And then when he did get the ball inside, I mean, everybody flopped on him. Because honestly, like I said, dominant in that situation is he's averaging 25 to 30 a game. He's hitting, he's doing that. I mean, think about what Shaquille was when he was dominant during those times.
Fair. I'd say since 2000, the most dominant big man to go Shaq and then give me Dwight. I don't care. Since 2000, second most dominant big man we've seen.
But again, dominant. I mean, at what point? I mean, who did he dominate? I mean, the Jonas Ilgauskas? I mean, who did he play against? I mean, what centers were really on his horizon? I mean, think about the fact that, a Kareem had to go see a Willis Reed, a Nate Thurman. You know what I mean? Bill Russell had to deal with Wilt. I don't care what you got in on your itinerary for the month. Wilt Chamberlain's on it. You circle that. That's what matters. I mean, Moses was an undersized big man. I mean, I didn't even bring in Willis Reed. I mean, what's his face from down in Washington there? 6'7". Wes Unseld. I didn't bring in Wes Unseld or Elvin Hayes. I mean, again, these guys were undersized big men, but Moses was getting double-digit rebounds and points every night against guys that were 2 to 3 inches taller than him. I mean, who did Dwight have to battle on a regular basis?
He says Jonas Ilgauskas. Now that was funny. He said, "Who's he for?" Ilgauskas? I said, "That's crazy work." Like, You pulled the most random name.
Kendrick Perkins and
Oh,
Zydrunas Ilgauskas. I mean,
Nah, oh my goodness.
so
I'm
I mean,
just
come on,
saying.
who do you have to really battle against? KG didn't play him. KG sent Perko out there. LeBron had Zydrunas. How am I not getting the ball and going for 40 and 20 against Zydrunas?
Nah,
Well, he
that's a
played
fact.
Shaq one time and balled
That's a
on
fact.
Shaq. I mean, it was
You
old
see what
Shaq.
Shaq did, but you see what Shaq did to everybody that showed up that was the subpar center. I mean, look what he did to Dikembe in the finals.
Mm. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that was a 3-time MVP. So I mean, it's people say the same thing about Shaq when he got to the finals. I mean, he faced Todd McCullough, Dikembe Mutombo, and Rick Smith.
Yuck.
But at the same time, Shaq gave them all 35 or more and 20 and 17 or more rebounds, which is why he was MVP. Dominance was dominance.
No, that's fair.
But to get there, he had to beat David Robinson and Tim Duncan. He had to beat that Portland monster of Sabonis, Wallace, Grant, Davis, the Davis brothers. You know what I mean? He had to beat players to get there, Weber and Divac. And you can talk about Vlade all you want, but I'm going to tell you right now, prime Vlade when he was young, baby, when he was running out to Uncle Magic, like, I'm telling you right now, you better watch your back, buddy. Prime Vlade was a monster when he was with the Lakers. You better watch the tapes, kids. You better watch the tapes.
Watch the tapes. Yeah, whatever. Vlade
was another one. Vlade was another one of those European guys coming in shooting 3-pointers when he first got here. Think about that.
Vlade Divac is crazy. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know. But I'm talking more like the skilled part, that part. He's not in Dwight's class as far as a center, but
no.
Vlade would have cooked him, and young Vlade would have cooked him. Young Vlade would have worked him over, baby.
No,
he would have worked him. He would have worked him just like
he would have worked him
just like Drazen used to get Mike. That's all I'm saying.
I'm sorry, Drazen was different. No.
Hey, Vlade was his teammate. You better ask somebody.
Okay. But another thing you said that I have to pick at now. You put Wilt over Bill Russell?
Well, I think that top 5 is interchangeable.
Okay.
Depending on the mood. Obviously, I think Kareem stays at 1, but I think the next 4 you can kind of move around depending on what your criteria is for the argument.
Okay. I was going to say.
I do. I do. I mean, I think Wilt was a more talented player than Bill, but I think Bill understood winning.
Yeah, okay. All right. I agree with that.
As long as we can all admit that, I'm okay. Because I thought about that and I was like, I have to go after that after I have to defend my Dwight Howard.
But I think if you put prime Wilt versus a prime Shaq, that's a good battle. Because Wilt's going to hold his own against Shaq. And, a lot of people don't think that would be possible, but Wilt was a big man. No, don't get it twisted. You know what I mean?
Wilt was running in the Olympics or whatever. They still been playing all the different sports. He was different.
But I think on the flip side of that, Shaq versus the Bill Russell, I don't like Bill's chances.
I honestly, I don't either. I can't even lie.
I mean, I think Bill was a great defender and he understood, balance and getting up in the air and all that stuff. But Shaquille was I'm just moving him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then on the offensive end, I don't know that Bill had enough to be able to battle against Shaq.
Oh no.
Where I think on the defensive end, Shaq would have probably beasted Kareem a few times. But you also got to remember, prime Kareem was a wiry, smart, athletic dude. Kareem could cause Shaq some problems, like a Rasheed Wallace does. You know what I mean? And then on top of that, Kareem can score on the other end.
Sharks.
Okay. I give you that.
And I mean, I think what Olajuwon did to young Shaq would have been a lesson that Shaq would have kept. And if he had met Shaq in his prime at LA, he would have been a different animal.
Yeah.
You see what Shaq did to David Robinson. All because he felt like he snubbed him as a kid.
He said he made up that story just for motivation. Is crazy.
Yeah, put it in his own head just so he can go out there and dominate that man.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. You gotta be a psychopath to do stuff like that.
No,
it worked.
It worked. It sure did work.
You know what I mean? And then again, I'm going to stand up for Pat Ewing because, I mean, how do you guys, I mean, do you not realize what Pat meant to New York City?
Nah,
Hey,
definitely.
he was good
Pat,
for New York. He
I
was
I
good
mean,
know
for
he meant to
Georgetown.
Cambridge.
when everybody had their ups and downs, there was one guy who stayed consistent. Other than Derek Jeter, Pat Ewing was probably the most consistent guy in New York. So, I mean, come on, man.
Look, he's a lot for New York, and he was good at Georgetown. And what he does for Cambridge. At the same time, that man don't got no MVPs. That man don't got no defensive player of the years. That man, he's smooth.
But
That's why
Patrick was a consistent double-double for over, what, 15 years in a New
yes.
York uniform, he led his team to a couple of championships. Yeah, I mean, and let's call it what it is. That team shouldn't have gotten as far as it did.
I give you that.
Mediocre
Sure.
shooters on the perimeter.
Mm.
I mean, outside of Allen Houston, you didn't really have any shooters on your perimeter.
Nah.
You know what I mean? You didn't have any real size as far as power forwards other than Charles Smith, and he was weak. You know what I mean? Think about it. You went out on the court at one point with Pat Ewing, Anthony Mason, Charles Oakley, what's his name? Derek,
Oh,
the point guard, the Derek Harper,
yeah, Derek Harper.
Yeah,
and John Stark.
he's right.
That was your five you took to a final. Think about that.
Yeesh.
Yeah, that is something to think about.
Yeesh.
I mean,
Oh, God.
and you brought that team out of an East with, a fire Reggie Miller squad. That Indiana team was tough then. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You took the Bulls to 7 games a couple times with that squad. I mean, come on. I mean, you interchange a Larry Johnson for an Anthony Mason a little later, but you know what I mean? It doesn't get any bigger. He doesn't get sized until Camby shows up.
Mm.
Fair.
And then they had no guards. They had Trell, who was coming off the choke incident.
I'm just saying though, in the Dwight Howard sense, Dwight Howard dragged Jameer Nelson, Ryan Anderson, JJ Redick, and Michael Petras to a finals.
Facts.
I agree. I definitely agree. But let me tell you this: with that squad, you know what I mean? That was an overachievement squad because Dwight got mad because they said the Kobe LeBron championship. So he went out with a mission.
Mm-hmm.
And I really do believe that. Again, who did he play in those finals?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Kobe got him. We admit Kobe got him.
No, Paul Gasol got him.
No.
Put Paul Gasol on this
No.
list, god dang it. What's wrong with you?
No. Let's relax.
Paul Gasol has 2 championships.
Because of Kobe.
He was European, one of the first Europeans to come over here and be on the finals of an MVP voting. Come on, man. Better act like you know. Paul was Paul.
Powell's Powell in Memphis.
Powell's Paul.
And Powell's number 2 in LA. And Powell did not cook Dwight. Kobe beat all that mid-guard play. Dwight dragged to the finals. That's what happened.
No, that's not true. Because Michael Petras played really good defense on Kobe. He was just, he's no Ruben Patterson.
I was like, wait, whatever.
Yo.
Michael Petras. Ain't nobody.
Like,
Come on.
what?
I mean, and Heydou Turkoglu, come on, man. Turkoglu had some deep playoff experience against us. Remember what he did as a member of the Sacramento Kings?
Hedo, yo.
You know what I mean?
I forgot Hedo Turkoglu was on that team too.
You know what really killed him? What really killed him in that series was Rashard Lewis disappeared.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't show up at all in that series.
Full blown disappear.
Yeah.
Full blown disappear. Wicked. Because Rashard was pretty decent at first, and when he was in Seattle.
Well, I mean, he was a very decent. He was a very good 3-point shooter. I mean, he's 6'10". He could put the ball on the floor. He could go to the hoop. He disappeared in that series.
Yeah, Rashard Lewis. Yeah.
Lamar Odom locked him up. I'm sorry, Lamar Odom and Luke Walton.
Oh, geez, Luke Walton.
I forgot about Luke Walton. No cap.
Luke Walton getting mentioned feels disrespectful.
First of all, no Laker being mentioned is disrespectful. As a matter of fact, I will even push Dwight down to 10A on my list now because he did win a championship as a Laker.
No way. 10A.
I'll be honest. Him having George Mikan over Dwight is crazy to me.
First of all, Mikan is the original big man in NBA history. I don't think you can put this list together without putting the original big man on the list. And dominance, let's call it what it is. He dominated his era.
Once again,
I'll give him to
this
that.
man played before Brown versus Board of Education.
Again, you guys say this stuff, but again, if you put these people in their prime in the same scenario where they're getting the same workouts, they're getting the same diet, they get to watch the same videos and same tape, they get the same equipment. It's a change. I mean, you're still battling a grown man. You're going to tell me that he wouldn't be a better athlete or a better player?
Bro, Dwight is cooking George Mikan. I am sorry. He is cooking that man. I
We
don't care if
know
that man
We don't
invented
know.
the drill
We
for
don't know. If you
layups.
put George in a time machine, we don't know what George will give you, baby. We don't know.
He ain't giving you nothing. Stop.
George is 6'10". George is strong. George could do some things.
And George would get cooked by Superman.
And as the original Laker, we have to give George his props.
Thank you, George, for inventing the Mikan drill. But Superman is cooking you. This was The Harden Way, y'all. Thank you for tuning in. If you like what you see, feel free to subscribe and hit those bells and things down below. As I like to say, ain't it like The Harden Way. Peace.